Hello, everyone, and welcome to P-Bolic Notes. Today is Saturday, February 19th, 2022. And my vlog today is going to be on a report that I got that I would like to show how I would go through to basically look at these different tokens that are kind of like Web 3.0 tokens and look at it and see how I would decipher it to see which ones are worthy of potentially looking to add to my portfolio and which ones I would quickly just skip over because the technical analysis charts, they don't look that great. So before I get started, just to let you know that I'm not a financial advisor and I'm doing this for my own personal portfolio. Everything I'm sharing with you today, please take with a grain of salt and do your own research and verify with your own advisors. So let's get started. I will share with you my screen and then I will show you what I mean. This report is one that I got from DeFi Academy, and it's an excellent technical analysis tool for Web 3.0 tokens. And I will go through it with you with these tokens to figure out if they are good to add to our portfolio or not. The first thing I will do is the first token that they have here is Chainlink. So before I get started, I'd like to kind of show you what I would do first off is that I'd like to kind of figure out where Bitcoin is at because since Bitcoin's dominance right now in the entire cryptocurrency space is at approximately 42%, meaning that it's very important to look and see how Bitcoin is behaving because these other different altcoins, they will kind of behave in relation to Bitcoin in such a way that if Bitcoin's in a negative trend, they may be also in a negative trend because of the fact that Bitcoin's at this currently at 42% of the entire crypto space. Secondly, I'd like to look at how Bitcoin is doing with this 20-week simple moving average and 21-week exponential moving average. So it looks like here for that, we're kind of in a bearish trend. So we're below those weekly closes. So meaning that Bitcoin's behavior is kind of a bit negative right now. We kind of want to see Bitcoin be above these numbers. So that then we can start looking at altcoins because altcoins will kind of behave better as long as Bitcoin is above these moving averages. So let's go back to this report and take a look at the first one, which is going to be Chainlink. So let's see how Chainlink would be if it's something that we should be looking at potentially adding to our portfolio. So what I will do is I will open the Chainlink chart and I'll compare it to Ethereum. That's the first thing I would do is take a look and see a weekly chart and see how is Chainlink behaving versus Ethereum. Is it doing better than Ethereum or is it behaving worse than Ethereum? So here we see that since August 2020 versus Ethereum, it looks like Chainlink has been very negative. So it's really on this very massive bearish trend, and it's been really bleeding against Ethereum. So there's no point for me to do anything else because if I'm going to be looking at potentially adding Chainlink to my portfolio, I'm also add more Ethereum, which I already have. I'm also just add that to my portfolio instead of taking a risk with this a different altcoin. So the first one, Chainlink, is a pass. The second coin on this list is I have this Filecoin. Now, bear in mind, whatever I'm showing with you here, it doesn't mean that just because a token did well on this technical analysis that I'm going to go and buy it, that this is when if I see that the charts look okay, if they're looking proper, that's when I'll do my proper research and make sure that it's a token that's worthy of adding to my portfolio because it's just impossible to do all that research with every single coin. So technical analysis is something that I use initially just to kind of figure out if it's something that's worthy of my time to do the research. So Filecoin, I will compare it to Ethereum. So let's see how this token is doing versus Ethereum. So if I look at Filecoin versus Ethereum, it looks like again, right? So we see that this is on a weekly chart. This is not a great token, so it looks like versus Ethereum since March of last year, it's been kind of going really down, right? So it's, if I put this property on this chart. Versus Ethereum, looks like Filecoin as well. Since March 2021, it's really been very bearish. So this as well, for me, it's a skip. There's no point to do anything else for the time being. Next token is Helium. Helium, I will be looking at Helium. I know this is a token that doesn't seem to have a indicator versus ETH. So I will compare it to another blue chip, which of course is the big one, which is going to be Bitcoin. So Helium versus Bitcoin. So I see that this one has been doing actually rather well. So if I look at how Helium has done versus Bitcoin, if I remove this drawing, I see that basically it looks like it since January 2021. So basically, since it's been over a year, 13 months, it looks like it's really done very well versus Bitcoin. So it looks like it really has gone up. I mean, not straight up, but it's gone through this different stages of accumulating and then having this congestion, accumulating again, and then congestion, and oscillating up and down, and then oscillating, and then went up. So now it's oscillating. So this looks like a decent chart. So this token, this Helium token, is one that I would consider because it looks like versus this blue chip, it's actually behaving better than Bitcoin. And the way to check this kind of it makes sense, because if I look at, let's say, where Helium was at January 11th of 2021, if I go open its chart, let's say I will open the Helium chart for last year. Just take a look at where it was on January 4th. So here we are. Let's put Helium by itself against the US dollar. Let's look at this FTX exchange. So you see on January 4 of last year, 2021, Helium was trading at approximately something in the range of $1.40, right? And today it's at $24. So basically, it was at $1.40 last year in January. And today it's at $24. So that means if I look at this, the amount that's appreciated since then, it's basically appreciated 17-fold, which is phenomenal. So if somebody had bought one share of Helium for $1.40, today it would be worth $24. So that's a phenomenal investment. And if I look at the exact same thing for Bitcoin versus the US dollar, last January 4, Bitcoin was trading at approximately the range of, looks like we were here, something in the range of around, let's say around $30,000. And today we're at around $42,000, right? So basically it was at 30,000, and today we're at 42,000. So it looks like the appreciation that we had in this period was a $10,000 appreciation. So really, I mean, percentage-wise, it was a 30% appreciation, which is nice, decent appreciation. But Helium was at 17 times. So obviously that was a much better investment. That's why when I go back to our chart, Helium against Bitcoin, we understand why Helium was really the better performer versus Bitcoin. But of course, we're not sure really how it's going to be behaving, let's say, at this stage here. Is it going to be, again, behaving kind of in a similar fashion? Is it going to keep on going up in this trend, or is it going to be going sideways or downward versus Bitcoin? That's why I would have to do some more research to figure out if this is a decent chart. This is a decent token. That's why Helium, I'll put it on my to follow list. The next one was BitTorrent. So let's look at this one, BitTorrent versus, let's remove all these drawings. And if I look at what BTT has done, I always like comparing it versus Ethereum if possible. So they don't have that. So let's look at it versus Bitcoin. So BitTorrent versus Bitcoin, it looks like, look, again, same thing, right? So looks like it hasn't done that great. So it was going on this, it was going upwards from January until March. And then since then, it's really been okay, but it's been downwards. So that means if I had a choice as an investor from last January till today, I would be better off buying the blue chip Bitcoin because that was one where it basically did better versus this token. So then BTT also would be passed. There's no point for me to look at this any further for the time being. Basic attention token, BAT. So let's look at what this token is doing. I mean, you see, it's deceiving. If I just look at it versus, let's say, the US dollar, since the last video that we had done, we saw that the US dollar has really been printing so much over the last like 30, 40 years. It's normal for these tokens to do well against the US dollar because it's with more US dollar in supply, it's normal for these tokens to kind of appreciate versus the US dollar. But let's see if I look at this token BAT versus the US dollar, let's say on a weekly chart, and I would just remove these Bollinger Bands. That way it's going to be a bit easier for us to see what's going on. So on a weekly chart, it looks like this token has been doing it's been oscillating. I mean, really, if I look at this, if I go to last May till today, it looks like it's got these different support lines that is really respecting versus the US dollar. And looks like it's got some key levels that it seems to be really repeating. I mean, look at this. I mean, right over here, a buck two, it hit this this resistance line multiple times. Over here. It looks like even over here, it hit this this resistance line as well. And also it's one that basically we can take a look at. But again, the best way to compare these tokens is to compare it against the blue chip. But we saw that this token, which is the one which is the basic attention token, which is called BAT, versus Ethereum. Here we go. So you see this token as well, it's negative. There's no point for me to look at this token any further, because if I had the choice of buying this or Ethereum, I would be better off just buying Ethereum, because it looks like here, let's say last May, if versus Ethereum, it was up here, then slowly, gradually, it didn't go straight down. It kind of went down and then oscillated down. Actually, this was a kind of a big drop, and then it went up. So over here, actually, was better versus Ethereum for a short little while, from last January to, let's say, April, for 3-4 months. And then since then, it's been kind of going up and down, but really on the long trend hasn't been that great versus Ethereum. That means if I had the choice between BAT or Ethereum, I might as well just go with the Ethereum token. So that's why this one also for me would be a straight pass. As I go down my list, next one is going to be the graph, GRT. So let's look at how this token has been doing. So GRT versus Ethereum. Again, same thing. It's been really disastrous versus Ethereum, because if I look at this chart, this token, I mean, right over here, it was trading at approximately around in February, it was at a ratio of 0.0012 versus Ethereum, and as I go over here, it was at a ratio of 0.00015. So meaning that basically it can really drop dramatically, and it was a worse investment versus Ethereum. And if I really go back to my to the actual chart of GRT versus the US dollar, again, if I come here and if I put the GRT against US dollar, we see that on a, let's say if I look at this on a weekly basis, I'm going back to where over here in last February. So February of last year, GRT versus the US dollar was in the range of, let's go over here. It looks like it was, I mean, let's look at exact dates here. Let's look at on February 8th. So on February 8th, right over here, let's go on this, on its, the highest point over here, it would have been at, or maybe let's look at this at the actual close. It was at something around $2.14, at $2.14. And if I look at what it's at today, today it looks to be at in the range of something at 42 cents, right? We've seen the price right over here, it's at 42 cents. So that's why we see that it hasn't been a great investment. So whoever invested any money in this token on a $2.14 investment, they've actually lost $1.72. So if I look at this on a percentage-wise, really, it's been an 80% drop, which is horrible. And if I look at how Ethereum did in the same periods, Ethereum versus US dollar, if I go back to last February 8th, on February 8th, Ethereum was in a range of 2021. It's going to be something in a range of over here. On the close, it was around $1,609 at 1,609. And if I look at what the price is at today, today is 2,752, right? So that means if I look at this thing today versus where it was at last February 8th, so Ethereum really has been a great investment for whoever bought last February. It's been an increase of 71% versus the previous token, which was at a loss of 80%. That's why if I look at this again, if I compare this, the graph versus Ethereum right over here, we kind of see why it's been a massive drop. It makes sense. This GR token lost 80% of its value. Meanwhile, in the same period, Ethereum has gained 71% on its value. So that's why this token as well for me is a non-starter. No point to waste any more time on this. And then the last token is going to be this one here, which is called Siacoin. And let's look at this token. So Siacoin, again, SC versus Ethereum, right over here. So same thing. So look at this token. Again, this token as well. If I look at what it's done, let's say over here, it looks like when it first opened, it looks like it was a big drop. And versus ETH, it's gone very negative. And then it had a couple of from March of 2021 until, let's say, April, let's say until May, for a month and a half, it went up versus Ethereum, and it's dropped ever since. So, and just to see, it just makes sense really on actual charts. If I go, let's say, let's not go over this big massive drop. Let's go something over here at June 18, 2018. This token at June 18, 2018, yeah, you see June 18, 2018. Let's go over here. The price of this token on June 18, 2018, it was in a range of something in the range of, let's say, at 0.01, right? It was at 0.01. And look, today it's actually hovering at the exact same price. So on June 18, 2018, it was at 1 cent. And today, June 18, 2018, it was around a penny. And today it looks like it's at the same range. Again, it's a ballpark a penny, right? That means whoever had put a penny over here, you went through this drama of dropping and then all the way up to 5 cents and all the way down again. Basically, that means you're exactly where you were. If you were a holder for this all this while from almost the last 3 years, basically then you're exactly where you were 3 years ago. Meanwhile, if I look at where Ethereum was, I'm going over here on June 18, 2018, at the exact same time, ETH versus US dollar. Let's go to June 18, 2018. Ethereum was in the range of trading at something at approximately around, looks like it was, let's say over here, it was $500. Now it's 2,000, almost 2,800. So obviously it's been more than fivefold. So that's why it was the much better token versus this one here, the Siacoin, which kind of stayed exactly where it was at in 2018. So that's, this token as well was a pass. So if I look at all these coins, all these tokens, the only one that is seems to be one that I could do more research on is Helium, to see if it's worth purchasing it, or if it's one also that should also be a pass. So I'm glad you watched this video, and I hope it helps you with your analysis of these other tokens versus Ethereum or versus Bitcoin. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to getting your comments. Bye-bye.